What's up? Hey, I've got my daughter Sequoia here today, and the back hatch door is not opening, so we're going to show you guys how to get this thing opened and get this thing fixed. After spending entirely way too long to get this door open, I've learned some key things that I think will help make it easier for you guys to get it open. There's a few things you need to understand. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is crawl back here and get this panel off. And the panel really isn't designed to come off unless you have the door open, so it's a little more tricky to get it off, but it's doable. Yeah, it's really comfortable back here. There's a little tiny access door that you could sometimes take off on this back panel that allows you to get to the latch. Usually the latch is frozen and it doesn't help you, so you've got to get this panel off. So I'm just going to start with getting the panel off. You can get a better view of things in there. I've got a flat-headed screwdriver. I'm going to start with these top trim pieces here. Get these out of the way. Take these side ones off. Okay, a little bit of a tip. You really don't have to take this top piece off. If you could just pop the bottom sections of these on the side off, that's all you really need to do. So you just have to not be afraid of it a little bit, and you got to pull that sucker. Again, this panel isn't designed to come off with the door shut, so I had to get pretty aggressive with it. There's a little bit of a crease here. I've got that I'm gonna have to fix. You've also got to take that little zib off there. Has this little cover on it that you do need to take off first. Okay. Overall, not too bad. Got that panel off without cracking it or breaking it or anything. You know, small little tiny crease there. This thing I'll have to re-bend and align, but everything's still intact. Next thing you got to do is pull this plastic stuff back. It's got this sticky stuff that you basically just pull this back, and then right there is the latch. It's inside this thing there. So this is a motorized latch, and a lot of times what happens is the motor inside here actually seizes up and goes bad, and then it causes it to where it doesn't open. I wanted to show you the corrosion and rust that goes inside this door. This door is kind of known for a lot of problems. It's got, you know, an expensive module there. It's got a motor there to operate this window to go up and down. You've got a motorized latch. Got another motor that opens the door there. So it's kind of a lot going on inside this door. So on the side of the latch is this little cover here that covers this little mechanism that moves up and down. Sometimes you can push this thing up and down and you can get it open. So I suspect this whole latch is going to need to be replaced. So I'm just going to bust this cover off. I've basically just been prying up on this to get it out. After spending entirely way too long to get this door open, I've learned some key things that I think will help make it easier for you guys to get it open. There's a few things you need to understand. So when it comes to these Sequoias, there's two types of the back doors. There's the type that has a power motor that helps lift it up, and then there's a type that is just a manual that you yourself lift the door open. And those two systems are quite a bit different. So the manual doors that you lift up on your own that have just the two shocks or whatever, those have a cable that pulls on the latch. And the style like this that has an electronic motor that you can press the button and the door lifts open on its own, it has a different latch mechanism that doesn't have cables in there. It has a little motor, it's a little power motor that hooks onto the latch that actually helps open the latch up. Taking the handle out gives you a lot better access to the mechanism that's inside there. And in order to get the handle off, you do need to take the back panel off inside the door there. So it is necessary to pull that off so you can get to the bolts that are back there. But this allows a better shot at getting into the mechanism and makes it a lot easier for you to get this thing open. Let's take a look at some of the important parts that are inside here. This part here is actually what releases the latch. So when this lifts up, it releases a little mechanism that allows the latch to open. This piece right here, this other piece, pushes up and down with the motor, so the little motor that's in there. So currently the motor's not installed on this latch. I ended up taking it off trying to get down to the latch a little bit better. Come to find out, removing the door handle was my answer at getting in there. But if you take a look at this, this is the new one that I'm going to install. Plastic piece that goes over this, you do need to take this off so you can get access to these levers. With the motor disconnected, I could easily push these levers up and down. This little lever is what releases the lock mechanism inside the latch. Okay, so currently I have the latch locked like the door was shut. Now, in order to unlatch it, watch this little mechanism piece right in here, how it moves. This little piece back here, this little metal piece actually moves over. Inside here was frozen up. When I would lift up on this, on the one that was in the car, that little mechanism would not move over. So what I had to do is I had to pry this lever up and this lever up at the same time to where it was all the way up. I had to get inside here and find that little metal piece that's just right there and just take a flat-headed screwdriver and bang on this until it pushed that thing all the way over, and then the door could open up, because then it opens up. This little piece right here ends up getting released. So when the door's shut, this mechanism looks like this, and when you pull on this little lever, that's supposed to open. Mine wasn't doing that. And so essentially what you've got to do is, while it's positioned like that, you have to pry this up. That's going to stay shut. You put the screwdriver in there, bang on it until this basically moves open, and then you can get the door open. Okay, so I'm about ready to test this system. On these that have the power actuator, you've got to disconnect the battery for some time, or jump in with the scan tool and clear the codes out of the back door module. Okay, got this thing installed, and gonna try it for the first time. Not too bad. Okay. Super duper. I think it needs some shocks, but that's fine. Let's see if this automatically works. Yeah. Okay, so there you have it. It's a bit of a pain in the butt. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, but you know, you can get it done.